When you start watching a YouTube video, what is it that keeps you watching? You look at how long it is and you make a bit of a judgment based on what you see in the first few seconds. Am I happy watching 2 minutes? Possibly. 8 minutes? We'll see. An hour and a half? No way. Unless one of two things happen. First, the content is worth it. This is something I really want to learn, and to get this in-depth education in only 90 minutes is pretty good. So I'll subscribe and make a note to watch it later. Or two, it's someone you're already subscribed to and you come back knowing it's good value for your time. Because time is the only currency here. You don't have a financial commitment. You haven't paid any money, so the content had better be worth your time. In other words, for you to watch, there has to be instantaneous clues that this video will be educational or very entertaining, and preferably both. I'm using these, my first 10 videos, to try and figure out what I want to do with my channel, or channels. I'll come back to that. Or whether it's worth investing my time and energy creating them at all. Now, I'm not expecting many views, and if you're starting out, you really have to understand and believe that that will be the case. You can't afford to secretly hope in your heart of hearts that you'll wake up to find 1.2 million people have watched. So there are 3 things I want to consider today on this, my 7th video of the 10. 1, why start a channel at all? 2, how much of my time should I invest? And that has 2 sides to it. How much time do I need to invest to make it work? And how much time do I want to spend on it? And 3, what can I offer my audience that will make them want to watch it in the first place and then come back? Now, of course, these 3 things are connected. If you don't offer something that will get you an audience, then why waste much of your time making your films? Or maybe you have a lot of time. You're like me, fast approaching retirement age. And for you, making films is reason enough. It's your hobby. And you don't need or even want an audience. That bit's not like me, by the way. I still need to earn a living. But if that's like you, it's a great place to be because it's the creativity that's important. One of the reasons I didn't pursue this earlier was because there's no guarantee of financial return. How could I justify working hard on something that may never earn me a penny? It was safer to, work for someone else. So, number 1, why start a channel? You already know this. There are loads of reasons. You're promoting your business. You believe there's money to be made online. You know that you can educate people in a particular subject that perhaps isn't covered anywhere else. You want to leave some kind of legacy for your family and friends. Or you simply want to be creative and artistic, and YouTube allows you free distribution for your films. And what I've learned so far is that you have to eliminate many of these so that you're left with your motivation to make the films that will serve your channel for quite possibly years to come. It can be a combination of these things. You can educate as you promote your business. I've been watching a few channels from people like me, older and new to YouTube. And the thing to remember is that nobody cares about you. Now that sounds a bit harsh, but it's true. And it's not something to worry about. They'll care about what you have to say if it helps them. But nobody knows you, so why should they care? You're just someone who is somewhere else, maybe on the other side of the world. There's no point in saying things like, "Hi, I'm Ian and this is my new YouTube channel. Let me tell you my story." You may as well say, just go away, watch someone else. Because they will, we all do. You're probably about to do it right now. And there I was thinking, how will I ever get to know my audience? And whilst that is important, the first thing I really have to think is, what am I going to offer that will bring me an audience in the first place? Who am I? Am I an educator? Am I an entertainer? What do I have that could engage an audience? And only when you know that is it worth considering spending what may be a lot of time building your channel. How much of my time should I invest? Now this is my 7th video and I set myself a target of 10 over a period of 12 days. It's pretty intense and I've not even considered the quality yet. The challenge is simply to upload them no matter how bad they are, but I definitely recommend doing this if you're starting out. I'm really glad that I've done it, even if what I say is complete nonsense. Nobody watches anyway, but you will learn a lot from making yourself a promise to upload and then sticking to that promise. Now, I find my day is split into three. I spend the morning working out what I'm going to say, and that can be something of a surprise. I know that if I'm to get good at this, I'll need to spend more time on thinking about, scripting, and then editing down the content. It has to be a little bit more concise. I film in the early afternoon for an hour or so, and then I edit and try to upload by the evening. But these films are a bit rough and ready. I've not taken a great deal of care over them. So I know that to do them properly, I need to invest a lot of time, maybe 3 days per video. And just look at some of the content online and you'll see people have gone the extra mile to get really polished films. So it has to be worth it. I think you always have to strive to make the best films you possibly can, but at the same time, stick to your schedule. If you don't upload until your film is perfect, you'll simply never upload. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to spend that much time on polishing my films, so maybe I have to start thinking about some kind of template where I can create a really good-looking video in a shorter space of time. You want something to be really good, but you simply can't afford to take weeks over it. And that ties in with the second part of this. How many videos do I need to make? I don't know yet, but the consensus from those in the know is that you need to be consistent. Your subscribers expect you to produce 1 video per month or per week or whatever, and you should aim to meet those expectations. But the algorithm expects that too, and your channel will fare better if you knock out films on a regular basis. And whilst you have to be consistent in your niche, that word again, in as much as if your channel's about motor racing, say, you shouldn't chuck in a video about knitting or your recent beach holiday. Unless, that is, you want more than one channel. I said I'd come back to that. You can have a second channel based on your passion for knitting, but you have to stay in your lane for each channel. Knitting, motor racing, never the twain shall meet, or you'll simply lose both audiences. So your niche has to be something that can carry you through 50 videos per year. It can't be something like how I chose a new microwave for my kitchen. It would need to be wider than that, such as product reviews for household appliances, although you may have to consider whether buying 50 appliances every year is worth it for you. So it's those two things. How much of my time do I want to invest in this? 1 day a week, 5 days a week, 7 days? And how much of my time will it take me to make the videos worth watching? A really polished video could take 2 weeks to make. A rough and ready video with good content, and obviously that's important, maybe just a few hours. Or do I search out some kind of template, shoot 4 videos in a day and edit them over the following week? What can I offer my audience? Okay, here we go again. Niche. Know your audience, all that stuff. I think this is by far the hardest thing. That may not be the case for you, of course. Maybe you have a special talent, teaching violin, for example, or a hobby you're passionate enough about to share with the world. Maybe for you, the hardest thing is learning how to edit. I'm lucky there in that this has been my job over the last 15 years or so, and I learned the various edit software packages years ago. That may not be such a learning curve anymore with CapCut and everything, and with AI, I think you can just basically tell your computer what you want or what your audience wants and just do it all for you. But for me, it's the niche problem. I know why I want a channel. I need to be creative in some way. Oh, yeah, I also need to earn a living to supplement my non-existent pension. I know that I'd be happy to spend, say, 4 full days a week working on this, but as for what I put out into the world, I don't know, I'm still struggling with that. For over 30 years, I ran a corporate entertainment company, and our main product were murder mysteries, live entertainments for corporate clients with audience sizes of between 10 and 400 people. In the really busy years, it was full on, often working through the night, and we'd have to travel up and down the motorways. It was pretty tiring at times. But the budgets got cut down, and I ended up doing a show with just 2 actors. The audience would play the other parts. Then, when lockdown came, and I couldn't earn a living, I had this crazy idea to set up a green screen in this very room and shoot the entire mystery alone. I played all the parts. I called it the Lockdown Murder Mystery, and it's still available to watch.
I mean, this is Upton St Mary's, not Lyme Regis. If the gun done work, you could always hit him with a shovel.
There were 2 bangs.
Were there? Councillor Longbottom. I was at a council meeting.
There was no council meeting last night.
Ah.
But without his criminologist audience, it falls to you to solve the case.
Roar!
You play the detective.
Police, freeze!
The detective plays everyone else.
I've got one thing to say to you. Line,
Available now.
how many fingers am I holding up?
Play the game.
Nice, though, isn't it? Pretty little place.
Make an old man happy. It was pretty crazy, of course, but it took me 5 weeks to make, and that was with a script. It would have taken far longer if I'd had to write it from scratch. I did the same thing the following year with a couple of other actors called The Christmas Murder.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Again, a heck of a lot of work, and I think I sold just about enough to keep my losses to under £1,000. A few people played the games, but I didn't really promote them. I sometimes think that route is a good idea, but it's just too intense. Instead, I need to think of something creative, but somewhat easier to do. It's Monday today, and I will sum up my thoughts on all of this on Friday, on what will be the last of my first 10 videos. And as I say, it's been worth doing because you learn a lot, but without the responsibility of disappointing 200,000 viewers. I really hope that by then I'll have identified my niche. And niche is really just a posh way of saying what subject you think you can do and want to do enough that it doesn't bore you or your audience. I doubt that I will have found it by then, so my 10th video will be my last for a while. But I do think it important to continue uploading films, so maybe I should commit to uploading 2 in February. It's like a monthly New Year's resolution, but you have to stick to it. You have to really treat it as a business, whether it is or not. Okay, I think that's enough for today, and if you are lucky enough to be in that minority that has stumbled on my channel, and if you are starting out or at least thinking about it, I kind of hope this has helped. Yay! We got to the end. Thanks for watching.